Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. I'm Grant Thompson, the King of Random, and for this video, I have a little bit of a secret to share with you. I do not know how to fly a drone. I've never touched one before, I've never operated one before, and even though I have a commercial airline pilot's license, I've never actually had the opportunity to play with cool technology like this. So for this video, I reached out to a company called DJI, I'm sure you've heard of them, and I had them send me some of their newest products. So the purpose of this video today is to share my personal experience from the unboxing of a product I've never touched before to becoming a confident and competent DJI drone pilot. Let's take a look at what we got. I got 3 products from DJI. I got their Spark, I got the Mavic Pro, and I also got the FPV goggles, first person view. Now the idea behind all these, the Spark is one of the smallest drones. It's supposed to be extremely user-friendly. Right out of the box, almost anybody can use it. We'll see if that's the case. The Mavic Pro is a very cool piece of equipment. My film guy, Mark, has one and flies it around and makes it look very easy. So I'm gonna see how I do, trying it out for the first time. And the FPV goggles seem like a pretty cool concept as well. You put them on, and as you fly the drone, you can see what the drone sees. Apparently, when you move your head, the camera moves, and whichever direction you look, the camera also follows. So that's gonna be pretty cool to explore. This video is not sponsored by DJI. I actually wanted to take it on as a project because, as crazy as it may sound, I'm a little bit hesitant of actually flying a drone. Never done it before, I'm not familiar with it, so this video is me crossing that boundary to becoming a confident and proficient DJI drone pilot. And I will leave affiliate links down in the description in case you want to check out some of these products yourself. All right, so we've just stepped inside for a minute so we can unbox these things. You will literally be seeing these for the first time as I do. Let's start with the Spark. Looks like a carrying case, that's pretty cool. Oh wow, that's the Spark. Oh my gosh, that is so small. That is really tiny. I mean, if I stretch my hand out, they're almost the same size. You got it like in every language possible. Cool, so I just got everything out of the box and here's what we've got. A super tiny drone, the DJI Spark, that looks cool, came with a controller that unfolds. It also compacts together very tightly, takes up very minimal space. I also got an extra battery charger, and a few cables and cords. Now, in addition to that, I got a few of these little bumper guards that I imagine go on the edges to protect the propellers from bumping into anything inside the house, making it just a little more user-friendly. I'm gonna see exactly how difficult it is to put these little bumpers on. Looking at it for the first time, I can see there's little clasps here, and if I undo those clasps, yep, clicks into place, and then boom, that's on. Put this back. I'm just gonna push that down, twist it to the right, and that is installed. That was actually pretty easy, even for me. There we go, boom. Bumper guards are installed. My DJI Spark is assembled and ready to go. It just needs the battery to be charged. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble the battery charger, throw the batteries on to get them ramping up. And while we're waiting for those, let's go ahead and take a look at the Mavic Pro. The Mavic Pro has a 4K camera and a 3-axis gimbal, which gives it a lot of dexterity as it's flying around and keeps your shots very stable. If you've watched any other reviews on the Mavic Pro, you already know that it's very compact, it works really well, flies very well, it's got an amazing battery life. It lasts up to 27 minutes per flight, which is incredible. It's very lightweight, it's very compact, and it folds up to take up hardly any space at all. I mean, that's it. Boom. Flying 4K camera for the win. It's kind of cool, it looks like a little bug, doesn't it? Like all folded up. Another cool feature is you can actually remove the plastic guard on the front and just let the camera fly by itself with nothing affecting the quality of the image. Or you could just leave it on for safety and protection. Totally up to you. We got the batteries for the Spark and the Mavic charging, so while we're waiting, we're gonna look at the DJI goggles next. I just got the box open. The first thing I noticed is this nice white headset here. DJI on the front, and it's got a little latch on the top, which is obviously a release mechanism for whatever connects in there. So let's dig a little bit deeper into the box and see what else we find. Trying to figure this thing out, I found like a little halo band that obviously sits on top of your head. It's got something sticking out the top here. If we take the goggles, it looks like they will click right into place. Oh, there we go, I just heard a click. That's what we need right there. Perfect, those are on and locked. Now we got this nice little headset that's gonna go on. We'll play with it in a bit. But first I want to see what else is in the box. Now that we got all this stuff out and batteries charging, it's time to read the instructions. So here we are, guys. It's actually the next day, and I do want to say with all three of these devices, going through them for the first time, it did take me about 4 hours to get everything set up. So I'm just going to run you through the basics of how to set these things up and get them operational. If you want any more detailed information, I found there are hundreds of videos on YouTube that walk you step by step through the actual process itself. So here's what I did. I started off with the DJI Spark, and I downloaded an app called DJI Go 4, and once it was installed, it basically just walked me through the process on how to connect this thing. Once the battery is installed on the Spark, all you have to do is press the button once and then hold it a second time, and the machine will actually turn on. And then if you hold the button down for about 6 seconds, you hear it beep once, and then it beeps a second time and starts transmitting Wi-Fi, which you can pick up on your phone. I connected to the Wi-Fi so I could do all the firmware updates. I connected the controller and did the same thing. And then I paired the controller to the drone using a simple tutorial I found on YouTube for the Spark. And of course, to shut these things down, you just press the button once and then hold it a second time, and it will power down. Now, as someone who's never seen this before and never played with the drone before, it took me about an hour and a half to get all the firmware updated, everything connected correctly. It was a pretty slow process, mainly because I had to stumble through it. So I would budget an hour and a half to 2 hours to get this thing fully set up. And be aware of the space around you when you're operating it. You can use your phone as a controller, but I wasn't sure how to do that, and I actually drove this up into the ceiling where it just bumped around for a little while, and that's why you can see all the white paint on the blades here. Although it's still durable enough, I could still fly it without any problem at all. So don't do as I do, don't press buttons you're not familiar with yet, or you may end up dinging your blades. So that's the Spark. Let's talk about the Mavic Pro. This thing's pretty much the same and works on the Go 4 app as well, and once you download and install all the firmware and get everything synced up, it's pretty much as easy as plugging your phone into this little USB connector. Once you put that in with the app, everything gets recognized, it syncs to the drone, and you can start flying, which is very cool. Finally, we have the DJI goggles. These screens are in 1920 by 1080 resolution, which gives you a really clear, crisp image as you're flying. There's a little flap on the underside here that you can plug your USB connector into, and I actually hooked this up to my computer and downloaded some software from DJI to get these things synchronized. Once they're turned on, they seem to sync right to the Mavic Pro. I didn't have any problems with that. And the coolest thing about using these is it gives you a first-person point of view from the drone's camera, so you can actually see what it sees as you're flying. It's amazing. When you put these goggles on, there's a touchpad right on the side here that you can use to scroll around. If you swipe down, you can access the settings menu by hitting it once. When you go into settings, you can scroll down to linked settings, and then you can quick link to the Mavic Pro. It gives us 60 seconds to link up the drone. If we flip this over and open this little flap on the back, you can see there's a little button in the top left-hand corner. If we take something sharp, scissors are probably not recommended, but if we press that in, it should make the connection. Linking complete. So at this point, everything's linked up and ready to go. We have our goggles connected to the Mavic Pro. They can also be connected to the Spark if you use a little USB adapter to the remote control itself. And the Spark can be flown with the remote, your phone, or by hand, like Jedi mind tricks. It's cool, and I'll show you that in a second. I got a Samsung Galaxy S8, and it fits nicely into the remote for the Mavic Pro. I just had to take the casing off because that was a little bit too bulky, but that's a good fit. And our headset is now connected as well, so we can get that first-person point of view and see exactly what the drone is seeing as we fly it around. Another impressive feature is the Mavic can fly 4.3 miles line of sight, which is really impressive distance. So now that we got everything set up and ready to go, let's take them outside and play.
Take off.
Cool. First flight, a success. We made it back in one piece. That was actually a really cool view. I went up, looked around the neighborhood a little bit, saw some of the mountains off in the distance, and it felt like I was actually there. It almost feels like playing on Google Maps, where you get to scroll out and just kind of zoom around, except apparently it's happening in real life. That was a trip. Now the cool thing about the Spark is you don't actually need a controller or a phone to actually operate it. You can just get the system going until it powers up, and then you're gonna click the button twice, point it at your face, and it will take off flying on its own and respond to hand gestures. Hands free. At this point, all we have to do is stick out our hand. The front lights will turn green, and we can guide it like a Jedi. If I move my hand down, it goes down. If I move my hand back up, it goes up and to the side. Now here's another feature I think is pretty cool. If you wave your hand at it saying goodbye, it'll actually back up to where you can take a selfie. Watch this. So this is a pretty cool machine. Even without a remote control, you can fly it using your hand, which I think is awesome. And if you want to land it, you just simply stick your hand underneath the Spark and it auto lands right under your hand. Just make sure your fingers are straight so you don't get them stuck up into the blade area. So there you have it, guys, the DJI Spark, the Mavic Pro, and the DJI goggles. Very, very cool equipment that I knew absolutely nothing about going into this video, and now I feel relatively confident and very excited to fly these in the future. In fact, I think I might have been bit with that drone flying bug, if you know what I'm saying. So now I've got my drones and you can too. I put the affiliate links down in the description that should take you straight to DJI so they can get you hooked up. Thanks for joining me for this video, Flyboys. I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then. How do I make it stop? How do I make it stop? Cut the battery. Whew. Hard disconnect. Works every time. Wow, it goes right back to that position. That's crazy. It looks like it's going down in the pool.